Welcome back everyone, John Panio here with another video. Today we're going to be covering Blade Lineage Salsu Yi Sang. He is a 3-star character that everyone will basically get for free at the moment if you install the game. He is a decent character, but I wouldn't call him a strong character. I would call him premium mediocre. What do I mean by that? Well, if you take a look at his stats at max level 30 and uptide 3, he's got 132 health with a speed of 3 to 7. So health is on the lower side and speed is on kind of the average side, which is kind of what most people have. His defense is 28, so not that high. He's ineffective to slash, fatal to pierce, and normal to fatal. Or not normal to fatal, normal to blunt. His skill 1 is Striker's Chance. It's a base of 5 with +6 with 1 coin flip, and on hit it will gain 3 poise next turn. And essentially what poise does is it makes it so that each count of poise increases your chance to crit by 5%. The more counts you have, the more stacks you have, the higher the percent, so from 5 to 10 to 15, but the count on it just allows for the amount of hits you can get. So you have an increased chance to do a crit damage, but once you do a crit, your count goes down by 1. So essentially how this character works is the more poise you build up, the higher chance you're going to crit as the longer the fight goes. And if you're able to maintain your counts on your poise, you'll be able to do more damage, essentially, because you'll be critting more. And we'll be seeing how much damage crit is, because I still need to figure out if crit is 2 times multiplier or what that multiplier is. His skill 2 is Heal Turn. It's a 7 base skill with +1 with 2 flips, so this can potentially be 9. On Clash, when you gain 2 poise count next turn, so this is not poise stacks, this is poise count. This means with Heal Turn, you'll get more chances to crit, whereas this is just poise. So count, poise, very different. This is the amount of hits you can crit with. This is the percentage chance you can crit with. Flank Thrust is an 8 base with +1 with 3 skills here, so you can potentially flip it for 11. On a heads hit, you gain 2 poise next turn, and this skill can do +50% damage on critical hits. So if you were to hit with this skill, you're going to do a ton of damage. And his defense skill, counter, pretty mediocre. If you look at his passives, level-headed on hit, or level-headed with 3 pride, on clash win you gain 1 poise count. So you get 3 blues or 3 pride. You'll be able to increase your poise count by a little bit, which is nice. You know, it means you'll be able to maintain your poise count high, so that way if you do crit, you won't lose all your stacks of poise. And his support is bestow. One ally with the highest SP gains +1 poise count from skills. So this is only really good with a team composition where your team is full poise. This is the only situation where it makes sense, because this really only applies to unit with the highest SP with poise. So this would work with 3-star Sinclair and all those Way units, which is decent, but kind of niche though. This is really a poise-centric build character. So let's take him into chapter 3-4 and see how well he performs. So we're going to be using a very generic team right here. We're going to have everyone tank except for him, so we'll see how he performs. So how this character works is you want to be able to build up poise count as you build up poise stacks. So ideally you want to be able to gain access to your heal strike first, but if not, you're just going to be stuck with it. So as you can see right now, we have 1 count, we have a 3 stacks of poise here. That means each poise is giving us 15, or in total we're getting 15% chance to critical hit for the next 1 hit. If we crit hit, we lose all the poise, so we want to be able to use our heal turn to be able to gain counts. But unfortunately, we're not going to be able to gain heal count, so we need to have 3 blues. But since we don't have 3 blues, we can't gain poise count. So this probably isn't the best team to showcase him with.
내 검은 만족.
기다리고 있었죠.
저를요?
예술을 보여주지.
네, 원하시네.
즉시 출격하겠습니다. 즉시 출격하겠습니다. 네.
もみっちっぽだまだ
즉시 출격. 즉시 출격.
그래.
즉시 출격.
명령이라면
예술을 보여주지. 예술을 보여주지. 예술을 보여주지. 네.
もみっちっぽだまだ
따라가겠어요.
So we're going to be using this generic team. We're going to have a ton of pride, so that way we should be able to get his poise stacks off, and we'll only be using people very minimally to be able to get his support up, so that way we can show the true potential of poise. Right now, poise is in a weird spot because it just recently got updated, so that way the UI tip displays better of what is happening. So let's just take a look. Ideally, how this character plays is you want to be able to have heel turn on your first skill, because in that way you can build up your poise count.
해보겠습니다.
With being able to build up your poise count, you're going to be able to have a better chance of maintaining your stacks of poise. So you want to build up your poise count. As you can see right now, we're getting a boost critical chance by 5% for the next turn. As you can see, the 1 here represents the poise count, or not the poise count, the poise stacks, and the 2 on the left side represent the poise count. So that means if I crit twice, poise is gone. So what we want to do right now is we want to be really able to chain up our poise. So we're only going to be using 3 blues if we have to, as you can see, to be able to get level-headed. We're not going to be attacking with most people, but we're only going to be using people to attack if we can get the blue count up. This way we can really demonstrate how poise really works. After using this skill, what should happen is our poise is going to be higher. As you can see, our poise went from now 2 count to 3 count because we got level-headed, because on Clash when we gained 1 poise count. And then we also got... how many we got? We got 3 poise from the blue skill. So this is kind of the situation where now you want to start doing your crit attacks. Defend. Everyone's defending. Perfect. So now we're in a situation where we can start ideally using our blues and into our purples, because we should be able to be doing a ton of damage now. Poise is higher, so this is flank thrust. Now the question is, do we crit? And I can't tell if we crit or not. So this is 16, 30, 44. It doesn't seem like that was a crit. Or maybe that was a crit. Our count went down, so it's 2 to 4. Okay, so we did crit there. So that was a crit hit. You guys will have to pause and repeat the video and check out how much damage it was, because I wasn't paying attention. Do that if you want to see the damage, because I wasn't really paying attention. But as you can see, we are just trying to build up as much poise count and crit as possible. Since we have 3 blues, we will actually do 3 blues. So here and here. So we get level-headed. Sure. So our guy is going to go from 3-2 to 3-2 to 4-2, and he should be going to 4-5 because we should be gaining poise. So now he's at 7-5, so he's at 25% chance to crit for the next 7 hits. So let's try to see if we can keep this gravy train going. We will avoid using the strong characters, so we'll use him. Actually, the defense should count as... yeah, the defense does count as that. So we're able to do a solid amount of damage. Defend. Whoa. Defend. Okay, here we go. So, Striker Stance first skill. It's at 86. 79. So that did like barely damage. 79 to basically 60. So that almost did 19 damage. So overall, as you can see, the damage is increasing, but you are really trying to maintain your poise stack. So let us go full Unga Bunga, full send, and get those stacks going. So we have here level-headed, so we were able to get this going. Defend, and let's see what happens. He's currently at 10-18 for his stacks for poise. So 74 HP. We should crit. Okay, so that is a crit. So those are crit, those are crit. So 67 crit, 34 crit. So what it looks like to me right now is each time you hit with your skill, when you're doing your damaging skill,
명령대로 하겠습니다.
you take off a stack of count. So that's a crit, that does 8. And once the end of, so this is where we're gonna do damage, and it'll say crit, so that's an 8. So that was our crit damage. So as you can see, it's not the final damage or the total damage that takes off your count, it's the amount of hits. So each hit applies a chance to take off your poise. But as you can see right now, we are able to, on turn 8, unfortunately now he's staggered, but he's at 19 stacks of poise, so he will basically 100% crit for the next 8 hits. Let's just have these guys try to finish this up. We'll keep our count up, but it looks like we might be able to keep our level headed up. Let's see. He's at 819. If we use other characters without him, we should be able to gain 919. It should be where his counts are. This person looks like he's gonna die. Alright, he's living.
순조로운 전략입니다.
Alright, some decent damage. And alright, Otis, carry me through. Alright, back in action. Defend, defend, defend. Defend, defend. So, interestingly enough, we're at 7 counts now for the next 7 hits, which is strange because level-headed should have brought our skill up, or our count up, but it doesn't. So from what it seems like right now, on Clash Win, gain 1 poise count. Strange. Maybe it means he has to be clashing. So what it seems like, in order for you to gain access to this, he has to be attacking to gain that. So just because your teammates get level-headed, it doesn't increase his poise, which is kind of unfortunate. But now we're just gonna do heal turn, because we should be doing a ton of damage now. So let's see how much damage that heal turn does. Heal turn right now is going to do 12. So that's 24. So if both connects, it should be 12 again. 11, 13. All right, so it's around the same number. It looks like it says plus 60% damage. So from what I can tell right now, crit hits are plus 60% damage from what it seems like. This one should be 110 because it's plus 50% to crit. 50%, 50%, 133, 63%. Okay, interesting. So it got the plus 50% crit. So it was basically 60 plus 50. Still not too sure how it works though. He's going down, but we'll be able to see how much damage he was able to pump out on his own, as I think that would be very useful for you guys to see. So that's what I'll do from now on as well. I will show you guys all the damage charts to fully see how much damage does that character actually provide in like a drawn out fight where he's by himself. So if we take a look at the damages by himself in 3-4, he's doing about 384 damage. I mean, obviously the guys are doing some damage here, but realistically they're not. 384. That's it feels pretty low, honestly, considering how he's like a 3-star unit. There are other characters where you can eclipse these numbers, but we will take a look at the other characters some other time. As you can see right now, Blade Lineage Salsu is honestly not that strong. His kit makes sense. You're trying to build up as much poise as possible, and you're trying to be able to crit people down, but just based off of the numbers that I'm seeing, it's not that strong for a 3-star character. He's not overwhelming, if that makes sense. For a 3-star character, he really feels like he should be a 2-star character. He can definitely carry you through the early game because he's standalone a very strong unit with his skills. He's got 5 base, 7 base, 8 base, which are all very good base modifiers. But when you take a look at his coin flips, they're not great because the growth potential is +1/+1, and honestly that type of potential is really easy to get clashed on. If the enemy rolls like a 10, you're basically screwed. But even if an enemy rolls like a 2 with a potential of +6, at that point you're already tying. So the chances of winning your clashes get harder with the endgame content because the potential on the coin flips just isn't that stellar. Overall, I would say he's a fun unit. He does damage, but he doesn't do it great. Overall, good beginner unit to invest in, but not something you would want to play with long term. I would say the only reason why you would use Blade Lineage Salsu is if you have him benched, so you can use a support skill with other units that use poises in their kit, because I'm pretty sure other unit with poises would perform a lot better. Overall, that's my thoughts on this character. If you guys still use him, because most of you guys have him, I would imagine, let me know what you think about him. Overall, he's a little bit weak, doesn't feel that strong, but I could see a lot of potential for him in the future. Let me know if you guys like him, what team composition you use with him. I mean, he does definitely have quite the useful passive for poise, but remains to be seen how he plays. Let me know down in the comment section what you think about him. I kind of think he's not that great, honestly, just from my first impression so far, but I could be wrong. Let me guys know in the comment section down below. I stream on Twitch basically every day, and I also have a Discord community. Make sure you pop into that, and I'll see you guys later. Bye for now.